They are taking Oklahoma as a model, Tulsa specifically, because we are really good at disaster response. Unfortunately, in Oklahoma, we have a lot of disasters.
Out of 1,000 emergency response teams across the country, Tulsa County is one of just 7 selected for National Pilot Program. Medical Reserve Corps volunteers trained to respond when a disaster strikes.
They're credentialed and certified to help with anything from a biological threat like anthrax to a hurricane or tornado. But it's their animal rescue strategies that stand out so much. They're helping create a plan for all of the teams across the country to follow.
Evan's crawling in because there's no gate here.
This was the scene in December.
You're okay. I know you're scared.
When Tulsa County's Medical Reserve Corps helped rescue 87 dogs living in a single wide trailer, setting up a veterinary triage.
We were able to give them medical treatment and adopt them out.
The team volunteered more than 1,000 hours on the case.
These dogs were very under-socialized, so they weren't used to walking. So they were staying in their cages most of the time.
The unit works with the Humane Society locally, but also deploys outside of Oklahoma. During Hurricane Harvey, the team rescued 300 animals.
They were homeless animals that came up here, and they had to be housed, medically cared for, and then they were moved on to emergency placement partners.
The state's coordinator says Oklahoma ranks #1 in the nation per capita for federally declared disasters. And having a plan with credentialed and trained volunteers makes all the difference.
We are really the gold standard for the nation, and so we'd like to duplicate that because animals are such a big part of emergency response.
After the pilot program ends in June, what's next?
We will hopefully be receiving a lot of calls from our partners across the United States so that we can help them become resilient like Oklahoma.
Tulsa County's MRC also gets a $20,000 grant through the pilot program, and that is a good chunk of money since the county's 1,000 volunteers all operate on about $5,000 per year. So they're hoping now they can do more in the community.